to him, Milan. Good afternoon, welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Everton Daily Live, Thursday, 13th of November. November's flying through.
Oh, yeah, what's going on?
Flying through. It is international week break. At least Everton won before and like we said, it is a bit mad. We've won the games 3 times this season going into an international break.
It's fantastic.
It is. England are playing tonight, aren't they? Jordan Pickford.
Maybe.
Playing for England.
There's no way of knowing.
If only we knew. We'll get back onto it.
Hey, we've been sent a present.
Okay.
We've been sent a present. So I just arrived yesterday and I opened the box. Big box. Like, what's that? I seen a bit of blue. I was like, what's this? It says Budweiser on the side.
If only James went in on one camera to show it. If only. So
it's quite literally an unboxing. So look at that. Take you around the box. The little Everton sign. It says Hill Dickinson Stadium 2025. And you open it up and it's got welcome to your new home. And inside is a can of Budweiser. Here's to a new era. And it's got to every Evertonian, this Bud's for you. Welcome to your new home, a new story, a new era. Your seats may have changed, but your pride remains the same, although the price of beer doesn't. Let's cheer the next chapter on Mersey Blue. Gone full pest there. Let's roll harder than ever before. Let's make history. Yeah, and it's a very distinctive one-off.
It's nice.
Can of Budweiser that will not be getting opened.
Collector's item.
It's a collector's item.
Very nice.
So there you go. Thank you to the people at Budweiser for sending us over to us.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Very nice. Know what would go well with that? Pizza from Posh Matty.
Yeah.
Would go well with it, wouldn't it?
Well, sorry.
No, he's not.
It would, but also, so would a couple of toffee donuts. But, you ain't getting them, are you?
I was walking out the game and there was a homeless man and someone had given him a box with a donut in, and I was thinking, you could have given him the money.
I told you I walked past the fella whose thing, he's got the cardboard with Skint Eastwood.
Nice.
I think it's brilliant. I think it's brilliant.
He's trying hard.
He is.
He's trying hard for it. Fair play to you.
That's
there you go.
Yeah. Dodge 7449, who's one of our YouTube members, says, question. Did you know that VAR is run inside a TV studio, 100% owned by WWE's parent entertainment company, TKO, another company that profits from scripted drama? But question mark.
Is that real? I've never heard that before.
That's what Dodge is saying.
So they own the studio. James, you have to find this out. You're a youngster. You'll know this. So TKO obviously owns UFC and owns WWE now. And have merged into one company, basically to get Vince out. No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Sidelining Vince, yeah. Big Vince.
Oh, Vince has gone ages ago, mate. Vince is Vince.
He's been
Vinced off. Okay. The less we say about Vince, the better.
Okay.
Yeah, he's probably in a file somewhere.
Okay. Didn't need any more.
No. So yeah, didn't know they own the studios.
According to Dodge 7449, who's one of our YouTube members, it is. So there you go.
There you go.
And I like his little last line. Another scripted drama. Top man. We'll come back on to all things Everton. Oh, hang on. Daniel Barton's back and says TKO also own UFC, and that's not scripted.
I just literally said that. It isn't scripted. That isn't scripted. Some people might say it is because Paddy the Baddy's in it, but... It all just went dead quiet then for a moment.
Because I don't know what. Right. The Euros.
Yeah.
So... It was announced last night that Everton would get 5 games at Hill Dickinson Stadium. Well, not Everton.
It was announced at 2028.
It was. I like it. I did when I seen it, the embargo thing to 2028. I was thinking, we can't say this till the year 2028 but
yeah,
5 games, 4 group games and a quarter final.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
I like what you've done there. I really like it. So yeah, great news, isn't it? Great news.
Yeah, very unexpected news. There was no hints. I didn't even know there was any kind of release happening, any kind of thing happening. So Yeah, it is. It's really good news. I've noticed today that some people aren't happy. I believe some people in the city aren't happy. But I believe Manchester United have gone on a bit of clearly gone on, I think, some kind of, they're pushing stuff out because there's an article in The Athletic saying it's still the biggest ground in the country, so why isn't it being included? And obviously Manchester United are pushing. But that's got nothing to do with us.
No.
I know Mark put some on Twitter to us. It was like, that's got nothing to do with us. We've only beaten one other club to have this, and that's Liverpool. That's
Mark who?
Mark Mark on Twitter had messaged us both for saying like the link to this thing, but the thing is that's got nothing to do with it. They're not going to. Man City beat them to the Manchester one. We've beaten Liverpool to this, haven't we? Because quite clearly we have a better ground, and we understand what a size of a football pitch is supposed to be. We aren't cheating with the size of our football pitch.
Like that.
That's just Everton, in it all over. So it's really good news. I know it's sad. Belfast have dropped out, haven't they? Or they weren't given the money to make their ground. So I don't know whether that's meant that we've all got one more game. But Villa Park's only got 4 games and we've got 5 games. Good. So, and I know that there is a possibility England could play at Hill Dickinson. They are playing at the Etihad, playing the first game at the Etihad. If they win the group, I think they played St James's Park. And I think if they don't win the group, there's a possibility they could play Hill Dickinson. But
it should be given a priority over loads of grounds because it's the
size, isn't it? St James's
doesn't always matter, apparently.
And Etihad are biggest stadiums.
St James's Park isn't
it? No. By just like a couple of numbers.
No, it's only 52,200. Ours is 52,700.
I thought it was a little like.
I did.
I thought it was like 7 or something.
No, Newcastle's the 8th biggest.
Well then, fuck you.
And according to a lot of European things that are released by the time of Euro kicks off, Everton's 57,000.
Well, again, that's because European journalists believe probably the first thing that was ever put out about our ground that's still available out there.
The irony of it is Everton could increase it by then because it's still a few years away. They won't in terms of structurally, will they? Because
got to sort toilets out first.
After thingy, but and obviously we can do it for Premier League for safe standing, but they're not going to have safe standing at the Euros, are they? I don't believe.
No, not allowed. Not a European game. We found that out when we were in Dortmund, maybe. But I'm sure that'll change over the next few years as well. But no, it's really good news. Yeah, it's really good news. I mean, the most ironic part of the whole statement was Steve Rotherham telling us how well organised we are, which is just funny.
Man's got no heart.
Funny, innit? Because everyone everyone were talking about it. And I know there's been something come out today about the working group about the changing the roads system again for the Newcastle game, and then advising people basically don't drive up Great Howard Street, don't park or by the ground, and don't drive up Great Howard Street unless it's
which is Great Howard Street,
the big one on the
next one
up, yeah. That's okay. They're saying don't drive because that's where people are getting stuck and that's where the buses are running. So they're basically, and I would concur with that. If I was going the game, I wouldn't. We park similar places, and I think any able-bodied person, that's where I would park. But again, I'd like to see whether I know we talked about it yesterday in Club Call, me and John and stuff. I don't think there's been too much political pressure by anyone, and I'd like to see the club maybe publicly. It's a hard one, this. But I'd like to see some political pressure come on Steve Rotherham to sort out transport. And I know the Fab have done that, and I know that's they're talking about like it all. But I think something has to. We've been talking about it for a year now. We need to get something sorted for the new railway station because it's a joke. It's a joke.
The club in some respects have probably done more than they had to. In some, I'm not saying in some respects more. I put it this way. I believe this, and no one will tell me any different. If it was the other club in this city, it'd be shorter.
I said that yesterday.
It just would.
Well, you know what's crazy, right? Do you know if you look at where Sand Hills is, right? So Sand Hills is at the beginning of an industrial park, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you were to move at the other end of that industrial park is a gateway, right? Like an opening. So if somehow you could move the station to that far end, or put facilities in so that it started at that end, and maybe it was a bigger station. All you'd have to do is walk down the hill, and Hill Dickinson's right in front of you. So mentally, in terms of going the station and back, it doesn't feel. So if there was some way they could move, maybe not the whole physical station, but if they could move the facilities or incorporate the facilities to the other end, or even encourage people to walk that way, maybe put like a proper path in so people could walk and proper lighting, it would maybe make it feel like it's closer. I know it's it's very, very difficult, but I'd just like to see the mayor come under some pressure of how on earth are we going to deal with 5 games in the second biggest football tournament in the world in 2.5 years' time when we've got the drama we've got at the moment.
Yeah. Let me just address this. Blue Amsterdam had said earlier, lads, I've read a couple of articles saying our capacity could be raised to 62,000. I'm just wondering how they would do that structurally. Any clues? That come out on day one, right, when the stadium's announced that it was 52 and it could go to 62. It'd always be, it'd have to be structurally changed. It can't at the moment, right? It can be raised, and you've just asked and said, I was told safe standing would not increase the capacity. It would, but it'd have to. Everton's tread depth in Hill Dickinson is 1 to 1.5. So for every seat, you can have 1.5 people standing, right? So the minute that's allowed, that gives us an extra 3,000 like places in that the south stand, really. That's how it works out. So straight away, the capacity goes up to 55 now, 56, whatever. So it jumps there. You can't, like Pez just said before, you can't do that for European games. So they'd have to be seats. I'm a great believer in the seats should have been smaller anyway. We should have crammed seats rather than them being what they had. They should have been a little bit smaller, would have got more in. But it's done now. So that's not going to happen. So for Premier League games, Everton, there's no law that stops Everton going 1 to 1.5, but it's not all on the club, because it's the safety advisory group that has to sort of agree to it. Everton might have been asking weekly for all I know, and it's been told no at the moment. But it will, if it isn't Everton, another club will do it, because there's more and more push for it. Liverpool have got some safe standing in the car. Wolves have got it, things like that. Loads of teams have got it.
Wolves have got like one whole end.
Yeah, Tottenham have got, I think Spurs have actually got 1 to 2.
Loads of the away ends have got it.
Big. So the minute one of them goes on it and says, right, we're having it, and we're having it at a ratio of greater than... Everton's a safe standing now. It's just 1 to 1. So that's why the capacity doesn't go, it's 1 to 1.
One seat, one person.
But the ability for Everton is to go to 1 to 1.5. That's what it's been built for. Personally think should have gone 1 to 2 if you were doing it, but that's a different story. So Everton can't just say for the Newcastle game, right, you can all stand and it's 1 to 1.5. It's got to go through a process, and that will be the safety of the SAGs, they're called. The minute someone does it, and I'd like to think it'd be us in the close season or whatever, chasing it next year because of the demand to get in, but other club might do it, whatever. The minute that happens, other people will follow like that, because ultimately, this is something that was taken away from fans, and rightly so in the old guys. It was dangerous.
Yeah.
It's not dangerous now. It's impossible to have a crush when you've got one person and a bar, which is essentially what it is. So it can't happen. In fact, at times, it's dangerous what you see now, which is people jumping over things and all that. And especially maybe ours with the bars, it's not as bad, but in other grounds where certainly all the away games you go to, and Fulham and places like that, where when Everton score, people from here end up about 20 rows down rolling because they're jumping over chairs and all that and everything. So therefore Everton for Premier League games can increase the capacity when it's gone through, kind of thing, past the SAGs. But just be clear, at the moment there's no rule change that stops it, but you do have to have approval from another group. But if Everton can do that, then it means the capacity can jump up to we can get another 3,000.
And this is what we were sold on the stadium. Let's not forget, this is what we were sold. We were told 52,000 with increases to 60,000 plus. That's what we were told with safe standing. It was one of the things And then they backed away from it slowly, even to the point that Dan Mice has recently said that the facilities in the ground can't cope with that many people. But that's not what you told us, and until I haven't looked at it, but until very recently, it was still on the website, his website, that's what it was capable of. Listen, you can do anything you want. Those toilets right now are not fit for purpose for the amount of people we have in our ground right now, and that needs to be changed. You can internally change things. You could go in the summer and just destroy the whole lower if you wanted, and change the tread if you wanted. You could relay all the concrete if you want, if you really were passionate about it. Everton would probably say right now they'd have to make a judgment in terms of like demand, wouldn't they? It's hard to know with demand because we're not selling out as such. But then I feel like, well, if we had more season ticket holders, we would easily sell out. It's that gap of, like we've spoke about quite a lot. There's that thing of people who are trying to get tickets every week, but they might or might not. So it's not in their diaries every single week that they're going the game. Whereas I think when you've got a season ticket, you're always going the game. You've signed up for something, you've paid money for it, and you're going. Whereas people who don't have season tickets, I don't think that's always the case. So I think Everton could go, if Everton was to say, we've got 10,000 extra seats, if you didn't give them all to season tickets, you'd still have empty seats, but if you give them all to season ticket holders, they'd all be sold out, and that's the difference, isn't it? Evertonians, a generation of Evertonians have grew up with the clarity of knowing that they had a season ticket, and that was going to be the case. We're not like other clubs. We don't have, I'm seeing a lot of issues with the Manchester City fan base at the moment because their fans are being moved because of the new stand, and they're going to accommodate new fans, and they're chasing, of course, with what's going on at their club, they're chasing the, just that fan for the day. We don't have that. I don't think we're gonna have that. Don't get me wrong. We have a few day trippers who just want to come and see the stadium, and I get that. But we don't have. That's good. But we don't. I don't think we've got a day tripper mentality of people wanting to come and see Everton and it being like Disneyland for the day. Of course, we have fans who come from all over the world. And that's fantastic, and we want to encourage more of that. That is good. But we don't have the day tripper mentality at Everton, so I think you'd have to win things. Yeah, of course you do. You have to make it. Grab that, don't you? You have to make it. You have to make it a spectacle, don't you? So we'll see. Rome wasn't built in a day, and I don't really have. When it comes from the ground point of view, it's like the actual ground. I don't have too many sort of like gripes. I think Everton are finding stuff out as they go along. As you know, every single game we go to, you'll find more stuff within the ground, and there'll be stuff that is getting worked on every game. One thing I do have a bugbear about: why is the milk so far away from where you buy your cup of tea and coffee? What's going on? Why do I have to walk all the way down there? Anyway, I think stuff with like the toilets, they got it wrong. And they're going to fix it. The toilets, they know they've massively got it wrong, but they'll fix it. But I think stuff like transport, that takes 3 years. Like, look at the station they're putting at the Baltic. That's been in the process for about 3 or 4 years. And it ain't going to be built for another 2 years. They've got the money for it. Everything's in place now. But it's going to take 2 years. It's not easy to build stuff with railways because you can only basically do it at night. Because obviously trains run through the area. It's not safe in the day. Yeah. So a lot of the time, you have to do it at night time. Obviously, it's harder to do stuff and it costs more money because people get paid higher rates for working at night. There's no plan in place. And that's what certainly I've always moaned, but I'll just say the word moan. I've always moaned about it because the fella's come along and he's basically gone, everything's sound, we're going to put a bridge on Sandhills. Yeah. And that doesn't deal with the problem. And the thing is, there's no shortcuts for travel. There's just no shortcuts. You have to have a plan, stick to it, get the funding, and we know how difficult that is. Get the funding, and then you're going to be waiting another 2-3 years. Now, we've got a World Showcase coming to our city in 2.5 years' time. What's going to be the plan? Is it going to be like literally that whole part of the city just gets shut down? It's, we were around for Euro 96. It was fantastic. Town was open till 4. It was 4 o'clock in the morning. It was open till. It was like, oh my God. But I remember it was like Stanley Park had a big fan zone. You can only go if you had a ticket. It was like the world stopped for like those couple of weeks. But it was brilliant. And you understand that. Is it going to be the same with our city? Are we going to get special provisions for a couple of weeks where the trains don't run the same and it's going to be like shuttle trains from Sandhills?
It'd have to, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
It's such a big tournament.
And I don't understand why we aren't doing that now. I don't understand why we aren't having like shuttle trains that go into Moorfield.
It's only every
Central into town for an hour after the game. Surely there's a way they can do that. They could use, I thought in my head, they could use Sandhills as the terminus. So anything coming from Ormskirk, Southport and Kirby turned around, and anything going to Hunts Cross Town, just in and out, just for an hour after the game. I don't know. Maybe I'm completely talking nonsense here. But for that, when we get that tournament, they're going to have to change things. We'll all by then be a lot more used to it. We'll know the script. But you're talking about people coming into the city. And it's the same with the concert. I mean, we've heard not about the concerts. And I did say this. Don't think we were all going to get all the concerts straight away. Clearly we're not. We don't even know if the club are in a position to have those concerts straight away. Maybe they're going, actually, next summer we're doing renovations. We are smashing up the toilets. We're going to get rid of this, going to get rid of that. We can't have. Who knows? But at the moment, Liverpool, I think, have already got 3 in. And we've got none. So that suggests that Everton maybe haven't jumped into that thing yet. But imagine when those concerts come, it's a completely different market. Yeah. And you might have a lot of, if it's a younger demographic, and you've got people bringing their kids, and they're like, what, the nearest station's over there, or I've got to walk from there to there. And if they come out in the dark, we're all, we're mostly adults, and who go on the games at night, or maybe kids who are hardened by going the game. Because if you walk out at night at Goodison Park, you knew what you were used to. You get brought up in that. You bring a load of kids outside that ground with the way the lights are right now at like 10 o'clock at night, and it's starting to go summertime, but it is starting to go dark. It's a completely different aesthetic. And these are the things that they've got to get a grip of right now, because time's against them. Us going the match, we can put up with it, can't we? Because we've waited for this ground for so long that we know, and we can manoeuvre around it. We know our city. Some of us have got fast tags, but we know our city, so we know how to get away from it. Quite, for most of us. But a lot of people won't. A lot of people will go. Put it this way: if you were going to say Manchester to see a gig, and they told you to get the train in, or you were going to London. I know when I went to Wembley to see Dua Lipa, I know I've been to Wembley a few times, but you don't always remember. Yeah, So you jump on that train and you jump off that train, and it's like, what if that train's off? You're like, oh my God, what do I do? You lose your mind if you go to any city, if you go to Europe or America or anywhere. You know where something is, but you're like, or you know that there's a train or a bus, but if that train and bus isn't running, you're like, oh my God, what are we going to do? And that's the fear for me, for not only Evertonians, but when we get concerts, and certainly when the Euros come. So it's fantastic news. We've got 5, and I think that keeps the pressure now on the council and on Steve Rotherham. They have got to produce. They've got to, haven't they?
You can't leave it the way. I mean, it's, this thing is, I find absolutely mad.
Because when are we going to get... We're not... It's 30 years since we had our last tournament.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's 30 years since we enjoyed the Euro. And the Euros, when you think about it, it shouldn't take 30 years for the Euros to come back to the UK.
Not in this country.
But I think it'll come a lot quicker now because of everything. We had a taste of it during, obviously, the one in 2021 where Wembley had done them. But but who knows? Do you know what I mean? Who knows when it's next going to come back? And we want to hold international tournaments. We want to hold international games, wherever that is. Yeah. And if that transport's going to be the difference between the Etihad getting it, or Villa Park getting it, or St James's Park, or if Notts Forest, let's say, improve their ground. Just taking Notts Forest off the top of my head. You're bidding against those people all the time.
Of course you are.
And if we're already bidding against ground, because Liverpool, Anfield, they're not going to take this sitting down, are they? They're not going to go. They're going to go, this is actually a bit embarrassing that we're not getting the Euros. We need to sort ourselves out. So let's knock the cop down and let's buy all the houses and all the streets and let's build Anfield up so it's at 80,000. And then how can you look past Anfield if it becomes 80,000? And that's what they're going to look to do. So we've got to be putting pressure on. Because at the end of the day, we do have a train station by our ground. Anfield doesn't. So we've got to be putting pressure on, I think, as a fan base, and also, most importantly, as a football club, on these people. And as I said yesterday to John, someone politically will put pressure on. Someone, the next time the mayor is up for vote, someone politically will come out and go, we'll sort you a train. We're going to sort a train station, and we're going to sort something for Anfield out as well. Because he's promised this glider thing. But where's like the actual... Surely yesterday or today should be like coming out with a thing going, we've got the glider and this is what's going to be in place for the Euros. Like that should have been done today. This is what we're going to do. This glider from the airport to the new ground, to a stop in town first, to Anfield. And that's all it does. Four stops.
Blue Amsterdam 2 said there, we've got a shot at getting the Europa final or the conference final as well. So... we get something like that. All of that infrastructure, all of that stuff's got to be in place. These would be, I mean, listen, it'd be great if Everton were in the competition and got to the final, of course it would, but these could be 2 teams from Europe, not, and coming into our city, and the transport's got to be good and in and out of these places. It's not adequate, and it needs, saying there's going to be a glider, another bendy bus on the road. Yeah. Well, the road's
that's closed,
and the road's closed. So,
and also, I am a great believer, by the way, in all everyone getting a bit of something for the city. I'm a great believer. I think it is good when we look. It's different now because we've got our ground, but I do appreciate the fact that there's brilliant concerts happening at Anfield, and I hope we get the same. I think it's important for the city. I do think it's massively important for the city that it's not just about saying about Everton. I think it's important for everyone. It's at this tournament. I went to the last one. I went to the Italy versus Russia game. And it's mad when you look back. You look at the photos, and it's not even full. No, there's massive. I bought my ticket off a Russian sailor outside. True story.
Was he swashbuckling?
He was He had proper navy gear on with the stripes and everything, and the little hat. Anyone remembers the wrestling back in the day? Tugboat. That's what he looked like. It was because a load of Russians couldn't get visas, and basically the fella must have seen the tickets. They were like that big stack of tickets because they couldn't get the visas. So but I remember the city was buzzing for that, and that's one of the only occasions I've ever been to. I've been to Anfield to watch Italy versus Russia and Brazil versus Croatia. Both fantastic. But the city was buzzing. So I'm a great believer in whatever comes into the city helps all of us out in the city. So if that's Anfield or that's our stadium, that's all good. But if you
just had the rugby, we just had the Ashes last week, and everyone who loved it. It's amazing. The stadium's amazing. The transport's terrible.
Yeah,
that can't be a theme. It can't be.
It can't be a theme, by the way, of people going to Anfield and saying it's. How do we get back to the city centre either? There's got to be a plan in place. And this, listen, step 1, you got your haircut. Fair play. Well done. Well done. Second, how is it going to work? And today should have been the day when he basically went, this is how we're going to do it. From the beginning of next season, we're going to have these I really want to say bendy bullies in place. And they're going to run from the airport to a place in... I've got a bendy bully.
Have you?
Yeah. It's in the loft. I'll bring it in. I haven't got a tank card, though. I know. They start at the airport. They have one stop in town. They go Hill Dickinson, Anfield, back to Hill Dickinson, back to town. And that's all they do all day and nothing else. And, it's allowed... These bendy... bus is allowed to go through the cordon or whatever it is, or but get those plans in place, because at the moment, if we're sitting here moaning about it, that's not good for anyone. Because when we're on it, then we're not coming off it.
No, it just needs. He needs to step up now, because he hasn't. It's all very well trying to bask in the glory of something else, Well,
someone told me the other day it was easier to get away from Old Trafford cricket ground than it was to get away from Hill Dickinson. And if anyone's ever been to Old Trafford Cricket Ground, it's not easy to get away. So, but there was clearly, I remember actually having to walk back after an Oasis gig from Old Trafford Cricket Ground, so they're probably lying. And then when we got back to Manchester, we were told all the trains are off. We had to get a bus to Liverpool, which is a bit of a nightmare.
Mark 1_1878 said, anytime visitors come into the city region and Merseyside, it increases the economic activity.
Of course it does.
And therefore benefits people that live there and the surrounding it.
Of course it does.
And you're absolutely spot on, Mark, as well. And this is the whole thing. And he should be looking as a, he should be looking as the Metro Mayor saying, we're gonna the region. He's a Liverpool fan, isn't he? So therefore he's got a vested interest anyway in this city, as himself as well. He should be thinking, how can I keep continuing that economy? Well, they're talking about the economy shrinking at the moment, so therefore how do you increase it?
He's the de facto leader of the 5 boroughs, isn't he, of Liverpool and its surrounding areas. That's what his remit is. Obviously, each council does its part, but he's in charge of the overall infrastructure. And obviously, something like Merseyrail. One of his big things about Merseyrail has been that he wants to increase Merseyrail. He wants to push Merseyrail out to places like Holton, because there's one. I think there's a new one getting built towards where Creamfields is, a new station, because he's got these new trains with batteries on. They don't need the Lechy line, so he can run them. Yeah. He wants to run one down to Wrexham. He's obviously gone past Kirby to Bolthead, and there's always anyone who knows there's always problems because of these bloody trains. He wants to take one all the way to Wigan, but on a different line. He wanted to do one to Skem, but you just can't go to Skem. No. You just can't. There's no.
How are you getting a train through those roundabouts?
Exactly. You can't do it. Can't do the special roundabout trains for roundabouts, and they're normally in second grade fares.
In Skem now, they've put things on each roundabout to help you get out of it. So there's like a
but this is the thing right?
On that roundabout, a sign on another one.
So he announced, obviously, the Baltic one station, which is needed because obviously that area is up and coming and very successful now. He done one, as I said, by Creamfields. He announced another one as well. Can't quite remember where that one was, and they've completely overlooked what they're going to do. And as I said, his big thing is, his actual big thing that you'll be massively shocked is, his big thing is transport, because his mate in Manchester, who's obviously an Evertonian, is absolutely smashing on transport. Everything he talks about, Andy Burnham, is transport. We're going to improve. He wants an underground in Manchester that's going to cost billions of pounds. But you know what? The fella talks about it nearly every day. He's striving towards it. He's getting more trams. He's doing everything he can because he wants to make Manchester as accessible as possible. Because everything now is about getting less cars in the city centre. And everything that's going on in Liverpool now, they are trying to squeeze the cars out, which is fine. But you've got to provide transport then, haven't you?
The alternative.
The alternative. You want people. It's happening in New York, isn't it, at the moment? And I know we met up with the lads who actually work for
the planners.
And they're trying to put more people on trains in New York. And there's a congestion charge, and they've just unveiled a new thing. It's happening in all major cities now. And yet Liverpool, it's just like nothing. The infrastructure has been the same for years. There's nothing new about it. No one's saying, we're going to do this new. It's been said a few times, the old branch line that takes you, we'll do something, and no one ever does it.
And the thing is, the roads, the way they've changed the roads in city centres, horrific.
Yeah.
They've just created more congestion instead of trying to help it. So if you are trying to genuinely keep, cut down on the cars within the city centre and getting around, you've got to put alternatives on. You've got to. Mark 1_1878, YouTube member, also says, but it's good though, Everton will be getting good promotion from it all via Everton Stadium, because that's what it's called, isn't it, for the Euros?
Yeah, because you can't.
It's called Everton Stadium, so that's a good thing as well. But putting it on the map. But we want people to come in. We want people to see that stadium and go, I want to go there. We want people to, and that's where it is, in the city, where it is along the riverfront and all that. It looks amazing. It looks amazing. It's iconic when you look at it. And we want to make it as easy to get in and out of it. We want to make the stadium itself better. We want more visitors. There's a restaurant that's open every day in there. You want people visiting. There's a cafe that's open there. You want that. I still feel we're missing the trick a little bit in terms of a museum option. So maybe that's something next to look at. Try to keep people on site or whatever. But there is tours and things like that. So it all needs doing. But to facilitate all of that for our football club, the traffic has to be sorted. And for a huge tournament like this, and hopefully for European finals, this kind of thing shouldn't even, it should be, and concerts like you're saying, it should be not even an issue. It should be, we can sort that. We've got a great thing here. Look at this. You come in, you come out, whatever. But it's a bit grim. It is a bit grim at the moment.
You can't expect, even though it's quite easy, you can't expect people to walk from, say, Moorfields or Old All Street entrance, which actually shuts, doesn't it? You can't expect people to walk from there all the way down with the way it is at the moment. Okay, it might come a time when that's actually a fantastic walk and there's a lot of things to see, and the whole of the waterfront will be getting opened up once it's all done. But that's going to take time. You know, you will be able to, from in the end when it's all done, you'll be able to walk from Otterspool all the way. So effectively, all the way from like Cressington all the way along to our ground. Yeah. That's already been put out there, but at the moment, that's not possible. So, you know, as I said, if you come from somewhere that you're not familiar, people, you go, you know, I've been to Amsterdam, the stadium there. I've been to, you know, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Paris. You get on the train, you just see the map. It'll say the stadium, and you get off there, and when you get off the train, you expect to see that stadium literally as you walk out. And for the most part, in all those places, you do. And that's my worry, is that because you go past it. But if it's a busy thing, you might need to see. If you come out and you're just following the crowd, and I don't think that's necessarily an acceptable way to do things, just following the crowd. You know, so I think it's got to be sorted.
Mark Max says a politician in Northern Ireland was buzzing because they get to host the draw for the tournaments. They had the chance to host games but couldn't work together. Great part of the world, but it's ruined.
They never got the money, did they, for Windsor Park? And the government wouldn't give them any money. So
it's mad. Blue Keeley says, let's hope having these Euro games means the council will pull their finger out and sort out travel and access.
But the thing about it is they've known that about these games for ages. It wasn't like we've just found out we're getting the Euros. We've known for over a year. We knew before it was built that we were getting the Euros. This was announced ages ago. It's just the fact that it's been announced how many games. So we were always getting 4 or 5 games no matter what. So it just seems, again, they've had a year. And nothing, they just seem so ill-prepared.
It feels like if Joe Anderson had still been around, stuff would have been different. Stuff would have been very different.
There might have been a different motivation, though.
Might have been.
Might have been a different motivation.
Been sorted,
and the trains might have been monorails.
It might have been sorted.
It might have been monorails, though, do you know what I mean?
Alex says, afternoon, lads, these might be better suited for BWB. Right, I'll keep them, Alex, for tomorrow, because me and Ped aren't going to answer them.
Emma, well done for changing your shift.
The way John would. Blue Keeley says, "What's the blue box next to the YouTube award?" It's a.
I did at the beginning.
There's an unboxing. Watch it.
Go back, rewind.
Sasquatch is a blue. Says, "All right, lads, great news on the Euro games. Any idea how these tickets will be available?"
Yeah, there's a no Sasquatch policy.
That what it is?
Yeah, I'm afraid. Yeah, they've already announced it.
It's not like a safety.
It's a height thing and a hair thing and a smell thing, because we all know you smell like Bigfoots.
Not so purple. Aki says, with a nod to all the Ivan Tony chat, who's your favourite Tony first name actor, past or present?
Favourite Tony? I'll tell you what.
Tony Curtis.
Tony Hart is up there.
He's not an actor.
Is he though? He acted with Morph. No. Come on. Tony Hart was great. Heartbeat.
Tony Danza.
Beat. How do I still know that? Tony Danza. Baby, I'm a highly dancer.
I mean, that's lit. What? Hold Me Closer, Tony Danza.
Have you ever heard that before?
Okay, I mean, I'm talking about his acting ability, not an Elton John song. Michael Kearney says you'd think
He's good in Taxi.
He was good in Taxi. You'd think the infrastructure was part of the Euro Stadium qualification, especially after the noise. Need to improve things for people wanting a beer and a burst before increasing capacity.
I think all that stuff will be sorted.
It will be. Harrison Darby says, off topic, Ped, in the summer towards the end of last season, I remember you speaking about Everton selling merchandise and trying to make the most money they can out of fans. I've noticed recently they've started doing new merchandise like AOF, Forever Everton and Anti-Social Club and so on. Is this a step
anti-social club
in the right direction for you, or should we be doing more? I remember you were very adamant on this.
Okay. I do believe... I like the art of football stuff. The anti-social club stuff, I'm not sure I'm the target audience.
No.
But I do like the art of football stuff. But that's fine, because there's one set of stuff that I do like and another set of stuff that I'm like, nah, I think that's for younger people. And that's exactly how it should be. There should be stuff for every demographic. And if people out there are buying it, then that's good. I don't know whether people are buying it. I don't know whether it's I don't know, but yes, more collabs. The two caveats I've got is I would like to know, because I don't know for a fact. So number one, I think Castore, and actually I don't know if anyone's seen it. You've seen the new Ireland kit? No. So the new Ireland kit, third kit came out last night. It's dead smart, but there's no wings on it. It just says Castore.
Oh, okay.
And it looks smart because it's all black and green and it's almost like low impact. It looks really cool. I think Castore, and I've said this to them, so I'm not talking out of turn here. I don't think Castore's got any presence in this city. None. Me and Baz, you'll see Baz every day. He likes the smart leisure wear kind of thing. You see him every day in his Under Armour or whatever. And I like that stuff as well, just to sit in or go to the gym or whatever. Castore's got zero presence now, considering it's made by two fellas who are from the area. I think there's just no presence. They did have a shop, and ironically, the shop was right by where the Iron shop is now. So if it stayed there, it would have benefited from the Iron shop. Which is sort of similar stuff, but it's got no presence. You don't see anyone wearing Castore stuff in the city. You see them wearing Monterix, you'll see them wearing Nike, Ons, and now On, even though you don't know it's On because it doesn't have any labels on. I think they're missing a massive trick by not being in the shop, at the Everton shop, just selling Castore stuff. The other side of that is, Castore, we know, have the rights to Umbro. But do they have the right to use Umbro gear, Umbro logos to create our retro gear? Because I think, and again, I have spoke to the Reverend Preep about this, is if they brought out a retro range with kits and trackies with Umbro gear on and it was spot on, I think our fans would buy it in their droves. I think there's a missing sort of market there, where people who don't buy kits anymore but are still romanticise about stuff from the 80s and 90s. And I think that's a massive market. The retro stuff, by the way, I know is selling really well. I know it's selling really well. It does really, that's why they keep bringing stuff out. And they're bringing more and more, like the new goalie top. It looks mad. People will buy that. I guarantee people will buy it. But if they were bringing out trackies like they have, and Arsenal are fantastic. They brought out another range today. There's another new range, and it's just all old retro stuff. And I think Everton, Castore and Fanatics are missing out on a goldmine. I really do. And that's up to them to do it. So there's still loads more. There's still more they could do. But I do think they're going in the right way to get it out there. I think offering different markets and different stuff, and the anti-social stuff's really good because they're from California. It's like an LA brand, and they're big in America, and they do a lot of collabs in America with American football teams. I think we're the first collab they've done in the UK, so someone's been thinking outside the box and And that's good. The art of football stuff's good as well. They do a lot of clubs, and I must admit, now that I've seen a lot of it, a lot of the stuff is really generic. It's just, but I like the gear. I think it's nice gear. And but the bit where I think they need to work harder on is actually saying to like Baz, right, we've got a top like that, and it's got the Everton badge isn't like bleh all over it, and it gets Baz to not buy that, and it gets Baz to get the Everton version of it, knowing that he's supporting his team, but without not being bleh.
Yeah.
And I think that's another market, like the golf dad kind of market. Do you know what I mean? I think we in the city, everyone's grown up wearing trackies, so we just get nicer trackies as we get older. And I think that's a massive market they're missing out on. So bring me in to consult.
Yeah, mad. It's mad. James Graham says I'm all for collabs.
Yeah.
Lou says it has a crap brand perception. I don't see that changing anytime soon. But it would if they changed what they're doing, wouldn't it? That's the thing. Daniel Barton says, have you been on the Umbro website lately? It's like a ghost town.
How can a website be like a ghost town?
I don't know. Who knows? There you go. Michael Kearney says, what's the website that mentioned the capacity? You can use waybackwhen.com to roll the site back to it. It was on Everton.
It was on Dan Mice's.
And on Dan Mice.
Still on it?
Yeah.
The thing where it says,
Yeah.
Find it, James. Find it and put it on the screen, James.
Blue Keeley says higher capacity is worrying with how bad the facilities are. I've stopped going down at half time, struggle to get a drink or go to the toilet with how bad the queues are. Where are you, Blue Keeley, in the south stand? Because I have to say this because, but in the lower east where I am, it has got better.
No, I know.
It's got better. Like the toilets have never been an issue where I am.
But like I've told you, right? You can't get out of the...
No, I know.
No, that's what I'm saying. You can't get physically out of the south stand to go to the toilet somewhere else.
Yeah.
You are basically funneled into the one on the left or the one on the right, and you can't get away.
No, I'm just saying. What I meant was, I have... I mean, the service at times still isn't good enough.
Yeah.
But at first it was bedlam, but it isn't bedlam now. There's capacities. I mean, Saturday was the biggest capacity there's been so far, so...
Why is the milk so far away?
Yeah, I mean, there is.
There is, though.
You need the little things.
You go for a cup of tea, and the milk is right down the bottom. It's like, what are you doing?
That's mad.
You're mad.
That's mad. David Earl says the toilet should have been the first win at Bramley-Moore over Goodison, poor all round. They're addressing them, David. Josh Oldfield said, will you guys try to go to the games that are played at Hill Dickinson, or will we get World Cup style watch-alongs? Both.
We'll definitely. I know. I'll definitely try and get.
Yeah,
I will. Yeah. I'll be right. When I remember vividly when Euro '96 was coming, and I was not asked whatsoever. I remember lads just getting tickets, and you didn't know what the game was, did you? You bought the tickets, and then afterwards, and I remember me mate getting a ticket for it was Czech Republic versus Russia, and I was like, what? It ended up 3-3.
Yeah, great game.
And it was only
Karol Poborski.
It was only on those days leading up that the hype started to build, and you were like, you don't want to miss out. We went to the Olympics, didn't we, at Old Trafford? For the same reason.
England?
GB.
Well, GB, sorry, yeah, GB.
Because we didn't want to miss out. Like, the hype was building. We were like, we want to go to an Olympic event. And we went to Old Trafford. They got beat 3-2, I think, didn't they?
3-2, yeah.
And we went, and it was a great occasion. We could say we were at the Olympics.
It was full, wasn't it?
And this will be the same. Loads of people might be like, oh, I'm not bothered. But you know what? As it keeps...
watch any game.
As it creeps closer, you'll want to be part of this.
Yeah.
You'll want... I just remember Euro '96, the city was buzzing.
I was down at when I done that documentary thing in the summer, I was at the stadium till like, I don't know, 7:30 at night, but it was on a gorgeous day. And I remember speaking to someone, I was speaking to Rob and someone else outside there, on the steps.
Yeah.
And it was a gorgeous day in May. It was warm, and I was like, imagine the Euros here for one of those tournaments if the weather's like this and they're all sat on them steps by the river, and it was just the vivid memory, the vivid image in your mind was like, unbelievable. Like football festival, it'll be amazing. And you're right, you'll want to be part of it, buzzing the buzz, and there's no pressure because not Everton, you can just go and enjoy it. It's going to be amazing, so it'll be great to get tickets for it. Robert Oldfield says, I'm sure I heard on the news today that they're going to have a tram system with government funding.
No, they're not getting a tram system. There's
including the airport.
No,
Anfield and Hill Dickinson.
That's the glider. That's the glider. We're not getting a tram.
It's still on the road.
Tram system.
It's still on the road.
Yeah, it's on the road. Yeah, but if that's the case, right? If that is the case, and we know we're getting it.
Yeah. Is this the bendy bus?
This is the bendy bus. We know we're getting it, right? But surely today was the day to actually unveil it with a big tram with all the Euro 28 branding on it. Surely today, if I'm a PR person, I'm saying
they wouldn't think like that.
Well, not everyone does. Not everyone does think like me. If
and a lot of time, that's good.
Listen, there's less fires. If they unveiled that today, that would have been, for the council, would have been double bubble, because you're building off the back of the announcement from last night, and you're saying we've already got this sorted, whereas we're all thinking now that they're all sitting around the room going, what can we do?
Yeah.
Where you'd have a lot more faith in the council and the Metro Mayor if they'd announced it this morning.
Absolutely.
Down at Hill Dickinson is the glider. Oh, we've already got the plans for this sorted. And also, Liverpool fans, you're not going to be left out, because this is going to be for both. And yeah, it might have been on like Radio Merseyside on the 9 o'clock news or something this morning or something. And that's the problem. Whereas I think Andy Burnham would have done that. He would have been on national telly today going, and this is why Manchester is the second city now, and this is how we are competing. And this, they had Robert De Niro in Manchester yesterday, saying that there's going to be a link up between them.
You can Robert Elstone.
No, Robert Elston's doing the rugby somewhere. Doing like a link up between the two cities and all this kind of thing. And I just,
you're right.
I just think we don't have. We're having a different conversation if we're going. Have you seen we got the bus and it looks boss, and they've already said out, and it's going to sort it all out, and it's coming in. We're not. We're sitting here going, they better get this sorted.
Everton are in negotiations with not only musicians and promoters.
Yeah.
Right now, they're also in sports negotiations as well.
Cool.
For summer activities. So, and that, the minute they can announce what's what, they will do.
Yeah.
And obviously, there's big opportunities there. So that's great to hear. It hasn't just been left because it can't happen. There'll be stuff going on, and that's good. So, we want as many things happening at that stadium as possible. We want to be the beneficiaries, don't we? Mark Max says, imagine if Ireland qualify and get a match at Hill Dickinson. There'd be close to 1 million fans there. We are practically the capital of Ireland. Not sure the capital of Ireland, but there'll be a lot.
I think most of their games are getting played. Well, all their games will be getting played in Ireland, won't they? That's already been announced, that their group games will be being played
regardless of if it's first or second. Makes sense, doesn't it? Mark Max says, we also need to close down the Adelphi Hotel. If visitors come and walk around that hotel where dreams go to die, they will not come back.
It's horrible, isn't it? That
could be amazing, though.
I know. Well, there's another one in London now. It's owned by the same company, isn't it? No, that one on the side of the pier, and it looks like The Shining.
God, it does look like The Shining.
If you go on YouTube, right, there's a guy who does like videos, and if you just put like Landudno Hotel, there's a fella who stays in it overnight, and honest to God,
it's terrifying.
It is. Oh my God, like rusty pipes and it's horrible. But it looks like something. No, what it looks like? What's Tower of Terror?
No, that's
what it looks like. Tower of Terror in Disney.
It does. It's absolutely mad. Daniel Church says, I walk to and from the stadium into town. Takes 25 minutes, but I understand completely not everyone can do a walk like that. So I agree. Needs a short transport links out ASAP. And if it was the red shite, it'd have been sorted by. Can
I just jump in here and just this is a public announcement. If anyone says the Ev in the comments again, you will be barred for life. We do not identify as the Ev. I'm afraid to say.
You'll be chastised.
Emma's already straight in. She's gone 2-footed.
Shocking.
And I feel like, Emma, you've done the right thing there. It's like someone throwing something off a large building in Bootle on workers' heads, and you've done the right thing. We do not identify as the Ev. And we will never identify as the Ev. Just want to put that out there. I'm not naming any names, Phil, but I'm just putting that out there, just in case anyone was anyone was confused about the situation. Now you're not confused.
Unless Phil's a red, because that's what only Liverpool fans call us. So
of course.
So, yeah. What's Gary Lineker said? Someone said great comments from Gary Lineker.
No, and he said it's from 4 years ago.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's from when he seen Howard's Way and he said Everton are the best team he's ever played for.
Oh, so yeah. Well,
yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course. Jay Radcliffe said it's great in principle that we've been awarded these Euro games, but I just know it'll be used as a stick to beat us when the shite infrastructure is highlighted across Europe. All I see is ridicule and endless. Okay, well, it's nothing to do with Everton, is it?
Is it because Leicester didn't get it?
It's nothing to do with Everton. Andrew L says we should be trying to get as much things on at the stadium. Definitely the rugby, Magic Weekend and Grand Final. The Magic Weekend is something that's been in the pipeline, and I know that they wanted it, which I found mad. They wanted to give it to Everton even before the stadium was completed. There was talk about this.
They were going to play games in a building site.
Building site, yeah. Because it was at Ellen Road or St James's Park.
St James's Park.
But I know that they wanted to give it to Everton. I think this year's one was already done, wasn't it? But next year was there's talk about it. And I believe at the Ashes the other week they were all blown away by the stadium and all that. So, but those things will fall and die on the transport. So that's why it's got to be sorted.
Imagine one day we got World Cup. Be amazing.
Steve P says Anti-Social Club was a massive streetwear brand a few years ago, but it's kind of dead now, to be honest. No one wears it anymore. It was a 2016 era trend, and it's seen as quite cringy now. I don't know. Benjamin James says Everton takes ages to roll with the times. And Blue Keeley says, I don't have a season ticket, so I'm sat in different seats each time. South is the worst I've experienced. I just wait for someone to go down injured, then run for the toilet or the bar. You defo don't have to do that in the Lower East. And get in both easily, really. Just need that stuff, just needs correcting, doesn't it? I'm sure they can. I know that changes are going to be made in the summer when they can get to it with some of the facilities. But you're right, if they're going to have to maybe look at how you get people to those places. Is there a better way to do it than what it is right now? And I think a lot of people, it seems, in that South stand would say, yes, there is a better way to do it. So, Craig says, would you have an NFL game at the new stadium?
It's not big enough. It's not a big enough
52,000.
It's not a big enough stadium to hold NFL.
Everything there.
Tottenham's seats.
No, I know.
It's not big enough,
isn't it?
No, it's not big enough. For an NFL pitch, they're massive.
Yeah, they are. Ours is a football stadium, isn't it? Tottenham's is a NFL stadium.
It's built to be an NFL stadium.
The footy on it. So, DB Cooper says Anfield pitch size limits what they can do.
Yeah, it does. It's not the right size, is it? They can't hold international events. Not that they would have got it anyway, because it's just better. That's just the truth.
Dodge says, when Notts Forest come in for McNeil, would you take Callum Hudson-Odoi in a swap?
Take a bag of, take a 10p mix.
Ian, there's millions of comments, so I don't read every single comment out. End of story, mate.
I feel like you do. You just ignore it.
I don't. Ian gets more comments read out than anyone. You're a Darlington fan.
I shouldn't get any comments read out.
No, should be banned for being a Darlington.
I just mean he should just be to watch and not speak.
Yeah. Steve, you just worry about Steve Watson and his black and white army. Danny Ellis says, the South Stand is an utter joke. Okay. Michael Kearney says the Grand Hotel in Llandudno has bouncy hallway floors right at the top. Jeez. Benjamin says the Euros will be great at Hill Dickinson, especially if a big team like France or Spain gets games there. Mark Max says, I went to the last Euros in Germany. Unreal atmosphere. It was amazing. Michael says the Castori long sleeve training top with water style is a banger. The AO The art of football artwork looks AI generated. The anti-stuff looks like one man and the screen print machine. At least they're generating optics for new age.
At the end of the day,
each of their own,
if it sells, then it'll be successful. If it doesn't sell, then Everton will move on. Or Fanatics will move on.
Josh says, is there a reason Goodison wasn't used for Euro 96?
Yeah, because Anfield was used. You can only have one a city, and Anfield was much more developed. We didn't always see it like that, did we? But Anfield had newer stands and stuff. It was far. We had this. In fact, when Japan played the season before against Brazil, we got it because they were building the Kop, weren't they? I think it was, or whatever it was. Yeah. So
Gareth says, last day of a great week in Tunisia. Obviously, the highlight was watching Everton, Fulham, and City v Liverpool as the only blues in a bar full of that lot. Wore my Evertonia and up the fucking Toffee TV shirt, loud and proud.
Nice.
He's right, Gareth. Top man. LTEL 4397 said, just had my haircut in Mossley Hill. The barber thought Everton was in another country. He was from Turkey. He said all Liverpool fans thought it was so. No Scouse fans. Yeah.
Sounds like a bellend.
I hope you put him right and said there's no Scouse Reds in this city. Mark 1_1878 says the Bramley-Moore dock pitch is the same width and 4 metres longer than Goodison Park.
Yeah, that still doesn't mean it's going to play NFL games on it.
Phil Steele, hello Phil, says the North Stand is worse. What? And then LTEL says in the North Stand, no problem getting in and facilities are fine.
But it's worse.
There you go. JSCU8BZ says, haven't had a comment read out since Koeman was the manager. There you have. Now you have. There you go. Maybe you should write better comments. Daniela says, being in all the stands, Phil, the South Upper is by far the worst place in the ground.
What, sitting-wise or facilities-wise?
They won't be sitting-wise, will it? Can't be.
I don't know, I'm asking him. I mean, at the very back, I must admit, I wouldn't want to walk up those stairs.
Multi-Great Escape says, with the transfer window approaching, when will the rumours of Dave Tubb start? Well,
he is looking for that loan now. It didn't work out for him. The move never worked out for him. So he is looking for that loan. So we'll see.
And Multi-Great Escape says, Tubbsy doing vids on YouTube, banging in worldies from the halfway line at a local park with the pigeons. JSCU8BZ said, I was joking. Have you guys seen how hated Thelwell is at Rangers? He's probably not the most loved person at Rangers, is he?
Bringing his son in wasn't the most advisable thing, was it?
Is that what he did?
Thelwell, didn't you know that? Huh? Brought his son in to be the head of scouting. Sure. How did you not know that?
Because I just
and he had to literally do a press conference with him and go, and he actually said, I know this doesn't seem the best thing for metrics. Got him out of Norwich.
Well, no. Okay, fair play. Craig says you just don't see Everton kit about town abroad much. Not Japan or Italy.
Don't see them in this city.
I think you do. I think you see loads of Everton.
See them on a match day. I don't see them anymore.
I see loads of Everton. I don't see loads of Liverpool anymore. It's weird. But I see like other kits, so maybe just people just wearing other kits. Philly FC says problem with the south is the toilets. Yeah. Mad says North Upper was chocker against Spurs. Corridors dead thin, so it's hard to get around. Was pretty steaming, so might have just been me though. And Phil Steele says sat in all myself, found the North worst for getting to the bar. Toilet wise, no issues in any, to be honest. Fair play. Daniela says facilities are terrible, but those stairs. So, well, it's steep, isn't it? That's what we wanted, steep stands. So it's always going to knack you, isn't it? Really. But there you go. Right, final refresh on Prem. It's just spinning and spinning, so that might be a good place. Oh, there we go. So leave it. It's still spinning and spinning and spinning. So there you go, yeah. Games to look forward to. Get your tickets if you can. Kadim, I did see it. the Canadian Premier League final, they literally played it in a snowstorm.
Snow, yeah.
Absolutely crazy, wasn't it? Absolutely crazy. The golfer 29 says, I seen a cop-ite coming out Hill Dickinson shirt with the Liverpool. Coming out Hill Dickinson Stadium with Liverpool shirt on the other day. Mad. Paul Williams says, I'm forever Blue Plus member. I get tickets through the ballot every home game and go with my 10-year-old daughter. We have given the North, the East and South a go, really like the North East section above the away fans. That's where we will settle. Love the new ground, as does the little girl. She'll be a Blue for life now, although it was touch and go at the Tottenham match. Yeah, poor girl. Jay Ratcliffe says, of course, it's to do with Everton's ground. With Everton, it's our ground. It isn't, though, is it, Jay? If they're having a go inside the stadium, absolutely hammer Everton. The transport, nothing to do with Everton, really, is it? It's the city. So, Bert says, Ped is correct. The Grand Hotel in Llandudno is owned by Britannia. There is also one in Southport. I think it's called the White House. It's a real shame about the Adelphi. I worked there a few years ago, and the ballroom and main lounge is magnificent and could be something unique again. The guy who owns Britannia is about 90 and lives in one of his hotels. He's the biggest minge bag ever. Buys hotels in central convenient locations, runs them down, and charges at a low prices people will pay due to the location. It's a shame. And Steve P says, if you want your comments read out, get on Premier. It basically costs nothing and is the cheapest daily therapy on earth.
It doesn't cost nothing. Let me just put that.
Basically.
I know, but let me just clarify
it's
that.
Cheaper than a Costa coffee or Starbucks or
cheaper.
any other
It's half a donut.
artisan coffee.
It's half a donut.
Right. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us.
We'll be doing, Premier members, we're doing an AOB, a 5.
5.
4.
4:30. AOB. 4:30. AOB. A.O. James. There you go. He's never done one. He hasn't done a proper AOB.
Get your set robot stories, Eddie James.
So, Premier members, you beautiful people, we'll see you at 4:30. Everything else, take it easy. The 1878 FM podcast will be out and all of that stuff. Have a great day. See you all later. Bye. Bye.